Single Dad Got a Wrong Call at 2 a.m., Part 1. The rain outside was relentless. It drummed against the windows of Daniel Reed's small apartment like a restless reminder that loneliness had its own sound. Daniel, 34, was a single dad, raising his 7-year-old daughter Lily after his wife Emma passed away 3 years ago in a car accident. Nights were the hardest. When Lily finally fell asleep, silence wrapped the house in a kind of sadness that only a widowed heart could understand. That night, as the clock struck 2:03 a.m., Daniel's phone began to buzz. He frowned, half asleep. Unknown number. He almost ignored it, but something in him, that strange intuition that parents develop, made him answer. Hello? His voice was rough, tired. There was silence for a moment, then a soft female voice whispered. Mark. Please, don't hang up. I just need someone to talk to. Daniel blinked, confused. I think you have the wrong number. But the woman didn't hang up. He could hear quiet sobs. I'm sorry. I just dialed the number from my memory. I didn't think it would go through, she said, voice trembling. Daniel sat up in bed. You okay? You sound like you've been crying. She gave a small, broken laugh. I've been crying for months. My fiancé. Mark, he died last year. Sometimes I call his old number when I can't sleep. Daniel's heart ached. I'm sorry. I lost my wife 3 years ago. So. I know how that feels. The line went quiet. Two strangers, both sleepless, both broken, connected by an accident of digits. They talked for hours. About loss, about memories, about how empty the world can feel at 2 a.m. By dawn, Daniel realized he didn't even know her name. Before hanging up, she finally said. My name's Clara. Sorry for bothering you. Daniel smiled faintly. You didn't bother me. Maybe it was meant to happen. 1 week later. The calls continued. Not every night, but often enough that Daniel began to look forward to them. Clara had this way of talking, calm, warm, but always carrying sadness beneath her words. And slowly, their conversations shifted from grief to laughter. She'd tell him about her old dog, about how she painted when she couldn't sleep. He'd tell her about Lily, about bedtime stories and burnt pancakes. Soon, they were sharing pictures, not of themselves, but of sunsets, paintings, coffee mugs, and tiny moments that made life beautiful again. One night, Clara said softly. You know, I think Mark would have liked you. Daniel chuckled. And Emma would have told me to stop drinking so much coffee at night. That's when they both realized, for the first time in years, they were smiling again. The meeting. 2 months passed before Clara suggested meeting. I'll be in town this weekend, she said. Maybe we could grab coffee? Just, as friends. Daniel hesitated. He hadn't dated anyone since Emma died. But something about Clara felt safe. Familiar. Saturday afternoon, he arrived at the cafe early, nervous and excited. At 3 p.m. sharp, the door opened, and a woman walked in, holding her phone. She was wearing a pale blue dress, her brown hair tied loosely, eyes gentle but deep with sadness. When she saw him, she froze. Daniel, she whispered. He smiled. Clara? She nodded, then laughed through tears. I can't believe this. You look exactly how I imagined. They talked for hours. About everything. About nothing. And when she finally left, she turned back and said softly. Thank you for answering that wrong call. A few weeks later, Daniel woke up to another call at 2 a.m. But this time, it wasn't Clara. It was a man. Hello? Is this Daniel Reed? The voice asked. Yes? This is Detective Harris from the City Police Department. Do you know a woman named Clara Bennett? Daniel's heart skipped. Yes, why? Is she okay? There was silence on the line. Then the officer said. Mr. Reed, I'm sorry. Clara Bennett died in a car accident almost a year ago. Daniel froze. That's not possible. I met her. We had coffee last week. The officer sighed. Her car was found off the coastal road last December. We confirmed her identity. Maybe someone's pretending to be her? But Daniel remembered her voice, her smile, the warmth of her hand. No impersonator could fake that. He opened his phone, heart racing. He checked their messages, their photos. All gone. Every picture. Every text. Vanished. As if she never existed. Except for one thing. In his photo gallery, there was a single image left. A picture of Lily's favorite park, and under it, a caption. Thank you for helping me say goodbye. Clara. That night, Daniel went outside. The same park shimmered under the moonlight. He felt a strange calm, not fear, but peace. Sometimes, he still wondered who she really was. A spirit trapped by grief? A lost soul reaching out through the wires of fate? But one thing he knew for sure. That wrong call at 2 a.m. had brought two broken hearts together. One living, one lost. And somehow, both had finally found closure. Moral/theme. Sometimes the people who enter our lives by accident are the ones sent to heal us, even if they aren't meant to stay.